Thank you. Indeed, an honor and pleasure. We are right here in Chicago. Chicago is the place where, on September 11th, 1893, Swami Vivekananda came and addressed Sisters and Brothers of America. When he talked about that, a visionary at that very time, it was not an easy task. And India and America has a relationship. When we talk September 11th, what happened in September 11th, the world knows 9/11. And the relationship that when he addressed, that's a total different issue. And he left his body on July the 4th, which is the Independence Day of India. And I read about you. We welcome you, Professor Karad. Let's hear from you. When we talk about in today's time, this is 2024. On a way, when he said the science and spirituality has to have a balance, East has to give spirituality to the West, and West has to give sciences. That has already started. We have seen our honorable Prime Minister coming 10 years in his row, basically addressing United Nations with the language called Hindi, which is means the language of Bharat, to be honest. And about your visit, Pune, we know a place in Maharashtra which has so many educational institutes of the world level. First of all, welcome to the city, the windy
Thank you.
city of the world that's known as Chicago. And आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. Education as such, they say if you teach somebody, that is the best daan that you can give it to you.
Thank you so much for your words of appreciation of our little work, what we have been trying to do. And being a teacher of engineering and even particle physics, I have been also from the family which is very spiritually oriented, as the Vaishnavites in India they call it. And I have been fortunate to understand the essence and philosophy of the wonderful words which have been spoken by the great philosopher saint of India, philosopher Saint Dhaneshwara. I call it philosopher Saint Dhaneshwara, who had spoken that time 740 years back. And he said that time the entire universe is a manifestation of pure intelligence and pure consciousness, the ultimate reality, the ultimate truth. This is one aspect, but at the same time, the great scientist of the modern world, philosopher Dr. Albert Einstein, philosopher scientist. And the very words he says is he finally utters the wonderful word like I believe in God, and possibly who reveals himself in the orderly harmony of the universe. And these words I find so much a great simile between the words of wisdom spoken, very scientific, logical, philosophical, and showing the pathway of harmony and peace to mankind. Both of them extremely, one is known as the saint, great saint of India, the world, who symbolizes as an embodiment of knowledge divine. And whereas the great scientist of the world, Einstein, spoke the same language. The Schrodinger, Penrose, and many other scientists of the world, they have started speaking today and advising all of us, like any teachers, chancellors, vice chancellors, academicians, great people of the literature and science itself. They have started telling us and telling very loudly to the whole world community, learned community, that please now remember that your whole mechanism of the life, the single cell, unicellular life itself, which has also the body and the brain, and also the soul, the spirit, and the mind. But what is the chemistry of mind is a new question. And these issues have ultimately led us, and being a teacher, being a humble servant of humanity, I feel I have a little concern and my duty. I have come here as a humble servant of humanity. I have not come here as a director or the chancellor of 5 universities or 6 universities. But I have been involved in this mission for the last 40, 45 years, and being met the world's great men from all these fields, I have realized that what is my duty, what is that I can contribute for the well-being of the mankind. And from this angle, the words of wisdom spoken by all these great scientists of the world I feel that is a pathway to lead and promote this society through promoting the culture of peace, for promoting ultimately the human welfare and the well-being of the mankind. But the most beautiful part has been the understanding of the spiritual or the religious component, which is not a blind faith. Basically, it has been properly understood by the World Peace University that these two components are the life-giving components to whole of human race. But again, I repeat, the present scenario, I should not speak anything about political issues or the leaders world over, but the countries like America, the Russia, the China, even India, and many other countries in the world, you know the chaos, confusion, bloodshed, massacre, terrorism, and leading to a horrifying violence. So whether we can minimize at least this aspect world over, and possibly can we come together, and for what it is being done, it is for the selfish ulterior motives with some egoistic feeling. I am supreme, I am the one who can control this whole world. It's a very, very typical situation. For the learned people like you and me, it is said that no nation is built up by the vagabonds and the brutes on the streets. It is always built by the so called educated people like you and me. But also, if there is something wrong with the society, with the global peace loving society, then it is our responsibility. We can't blame the poor and the poorest and the ignorant part of it. So that has been our understanding of this university, and possibly if we can convey this message, the right place I felt, and my vice chancellor and everybody, all these people, a small group. I know that we can't totally make a change completely. It is not possible for a single individual. But if you can understand the language of your heart and mind, then possibly some solution may come up. That's our hope and expectation. And yesterday, when I addressed and had a dialogue with some people in the Fullerton Hall, where the great noble son, again I repeat, he had addressed that time. And the words of wisdom which he spoke that time gave a new dimension and a new direction to the whole of the world, and completely they have understood what religion stands for, what science stands for, and what spirituality stands for. What is the logic and philosophy behind all the philosophy of life? And I had the fortune that I could come here and bow down to that place and ask for some blessings from him. And those reverberations, the very divine vibrations I could feel, and for which I had come here to get the blessings from this place. Alandi, Ajmer, Ayodhya, or this Chicago place, which has been a pious place only because of that great man who had given the address to the whole of human race. And he had shown the pathway to world peace, pathway to promote the culture of peace. And possibly now it is we are in the quest of understanding what is world peace. And possibly that understanding will come through people like you and me and all my friends around the world. The vice chancellor, chancellors of the universities have a duty to perform. And if we are on the wrong path in the field of education, I don't say it is everything is wrong, but certainly I can feel as a teacher, and being both spiritually oriented person from the Indian culture called as Varkari cult or Vaishnavite cult, and also having the understanding of what is Google, what is Facebook, what is IT, what is computer, what it has proved. Let me tell you, as a teacher with a very humble, with folded hands, I will say that now there is a realization world over that the entire universe itself is a manifestation of pure intelligence and pure consciousness. And what is that consciousness? It's a cosmic dance. And every atom, every cell, there is a great philosopher saint of India's Santa Tukaram, 400 years back. When he says, I am the smallest of the smallest of the small particle of the universe, but what type of particle? It can encompass the entire universe. And these meanings, very scientifically, once taken into consideration, possibly we may evolve with a peace loving, holistic, global society. That's my personal feeling, and that's our mission. and possibly we need
I would
your
like you to
cooperation.
talk about this dome, the World Peace Dome, and when was this built, and where and how people can be part of.
Uh, Thank you so much for this appropriate question, because that has been possibly one which the people call it today as one of the greatest wonder of the whole world. But I don't consider that I'm the maker, I'm the doer. But my dear sister, let me tell you, today it is known as a spiritually oriented scientific laboratory. In 2005 or 6, this was started, and possibly when it has been now come up in a form, it does not have a designer, it has no planner, it has no architect, no builder, no crane was used, but it has come up. And possibly I should not compare, but any dome in the whole known human history, in the known human history, this has been one of the finest and the best laboratory or an instrument which can bring to some extent the meaning to life. Meaning to life going beyond any caste, creed, religion, and bodies of nations, which are very trivial issues normally. All these quarrels, what are going on all over, you know what for it is. But the beautiful part, it has come up in the years, about 10 years it took to build. And nowadays, when it has come up, now it has become a wonderful instrument, a modern instrument to convey this message. About expenditure, I don't know. I'm a son of a farmer coming from a small village. Where from I started my journey, I don't know who showed me the pathway, but the journey has begun and it is in the right appropriate direction. That's my personal feeling today. And when especially I came here again, it has been a confirmatory test to understand and realize my own duty. And as a teacher, as a professor, as a man of religion, all aspects of life, and that's why we are meeting today. And possibly that's why you are trying to just make me speak about my duty. But let me tell you, friends, again I repeat, in the known human history, for the first time, such a small attempt of understanding the essence and philosophy of world religions and spirituality, and performing and trying to work for and trying to understand and search for a pathway to world peace. And it cannot be done by one individual. But I think if we just really understand each other, talk to each other, dialogue, having a dialogue with each other, that may help to show the pathway. And that divine light, I see, I'm a believer of these aspects, but I do understand the nature of this universe itself. But the rising of the sun in the east and going to the west is an illusion, is a statement made by philosopher Sant Dhaneshwara 745 years back at the age of 16. Unbelievable? I can't believe it. But remember, these are the scientific 100% a truth, the ultimate real statement of the nature of the universe. And we are a part and parcel of the universe itself. These are my understanding, and my whole team who are moving around the world over. And we don't claim, again, I repeat, we don't claim that we can totally make a change
At
in the
least a
society.
drop in itself is itself an effort, and that can take you there.
Thank you. I think, Benji, you have understood our mind and the heart, and possibly if you can convey this, possibly we would accept also their suggestions, their words of wisdom, if there be any, and let's have a dialogue.
That is
Let's come
important in
together.
life. Transparency and dialogue is very important thing in today's time. We are talking about everything available
Yeah.
on transparent, and we really wish you all the best and good luck for the effort and to your family and loved
Thank
ones.
you. Thank
Dhanyavad.
you. Thank you.
Dhanyavad.
I think I'm grateful to you, madam, because this is going to be the real pathway to promote the culture of peace in
My
the world.
dharma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
वंदना जी एक पिक्चर बनता है प्लीज विद द माइक थैंक यू
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you so much.
प्रणाम. ते वस्त्र आणा. वस्त्र ते पुस्तक